y'all definitely can hear it. So I introduced it again really quick, man. Shannon Sharpe, Kwame Brown, heated exchange. It's getting kind of out of control. It's kind of the same situation what happened with Becky and the Good Hair with Matt Barnes and Stack 5, with how they was going at it. But pretty much what happened was Kwame Brown had something to say about LeBron James after they got swept by the Denver Nuggets. And he had something to say about that last second shot that he took. He drove all the way to the paint, drew 3 defenders, got his shot blocked by 2 different guys, and didn't really get a shot at the rim for a game winner. And basically what Kwame was saying was somebody like MJ or Kobe would have got to their spot, which is usually the elbow, free throw line extended, get to their spot, rise up on a shooter and knock it down. And the reason why they perfected that shot is because they knew that they're not going to get the whistle if they go all the way to the rim for a last second shot, right? So they, everybody who's trying to get game winners, they're trying to get game winners from mid range because they can get the defender on their heels a little bit, driving to the hole, but then they can stop and pop and rise up and get that shot. LeBron doesn't do that on a regular basis. And he went to what he does best, which was drive the hole. And that's what Kwame Brown was pointing out. There's nothing that Kwame Brown said that was wrong about his basketball analysis. But Shannon comes back in and started getting personal, which is very interesting because the same exchange that he had with Skip Bayless months ago when he was trying to critique Tom Brady, and Skip Bayless got personal and attacked Shannon Sharpe, saying that you had to stop playing when you're 35. You're jealous of Tom Brady because he played to 45 and he won a Super Bowl at 40, and you can never be as great as he is. He's the greatest at your sport. Like, he attacked Shannon Sharpe in that way, and that caused a rift between them two because you're attacking this man personally, calling him jealous, saying he's not as achieved as Tom Brady, and pretty much saying your point is invalidated when you're talking about Tom Brady because he's greater than you. Shannon Sharpe took the same page out of the book that Skip was doing and trying to say, instead of disagreeing with his points that he made as a basketball analysis, he's going to attack him personally. I'll play what he said.
Shannon Sharpe, a football player, trying to invalidate the words of a man that made it to the highest level at this sport. Shannon Sharpe, a football player, trying to invalidate the words of a #1 draft pick. You don't up Shannon Sharpe.
Skip, he said, you're supposed to be great? Really, Kwame, of all the people, he should never, ever question anybody's greatness. Because this is what we know. If there's a Mount Rushmore for busts in the NBA history, whether he's the first head, the second head, the third, or the fourth, he's on Mount Rushmore for busts.
What you do in your spare time when you're not on first take? Shit, I fight over LeBron. Shit. Anybody who talk about LeBron, I fight over LeBron. I'm on Twitter with it. I'm on the side of the court with it. That's what I do. That's a hobby of mine. I fight over LeBron. Sweet, sensitive.
Go look it up, Kwame. You have plenty of time. Hell, you own your farm down in Georgia. You got plenty of time. You ain't playing no hoops. You should still be in the NBA. But you want to take a shot because this is your thing, Skip. Look what he did. Everybody, he was trending. He got exactly what he wanted. Okay. He trended more for saying something, because sometimes, Skip, the only success you can have is taking a bite out of somebody that's successful. He trended more for what he said about LeBron than anything he ever done in the NBA.
That's a fact.
Hey, Shannon, have you lost your God-loving mind, boy? You a guest in the house of this basketball talk. Didn't you know that? And now, since you don't want to act like a guest in this shit and you want to invalidate me, you football playing dummy, nigga, it ain't no first downs in basketball, clown. How you gonna try to invalidate a man who was the #1 draft pick, boy?
All right, man. So it's a whole lot more to it, man. Kwame Brown actually went in for about 30 minutes on Shannon Sharpe, and then he went for another hour and a half on his podcast, man. It was pretty crazy, man. But anyway, man, your thoughts, man.
I really don't like Shannon's takes when it comes to basketball because he is a fanboy. He openly loves LeBron. You know, so like we were talking about bias the other day. Like his bias is very clear, and he does not remove himself from it in his sports takes. And he got so emotional when Kwame has a legit point. I mean, Kwame might not have the career LeBron has, but he made it to the highest level in that sport.
Right.
And you didn't even play that sport at all.
At all. And
what are your credentials to talk about it?
And neither is the dude that's over there co-signing everything he's saying.
I don't even know what Skip did before he did.
I mean, supposedly he played a little basketball in high school and stuff like that, man. But, you know,
he averaged 1 point.
Sure. I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. But, I mean, like, it makes no sense to tell a pro basketball player that your points are invalid and then think that you as a pro football player have valid points. Like, I understand how Shannon Sharpe think his points are more valid than Kwame Brown's, or how Skip Bayless's points is more valid than Kwame Brown, or how Stephen A's points is more valid than Kwame Brown. There's no Kwame Brown. His points are as valid as the greatest basketball player. Like, if Michael Jordan say something, yeah, you might take a little bit more consideration with what he was saying versus Kwame, but like just an average basketball player, if you're not the GOAT, if you're not MJ or somebody like that, your point and what Kwame says is on the same level with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, because if you say something that makes sense, then it makes sense. It don't matter what your career was. Like when JJ Redick say things, some of the things he say have good sense in it. When Gilbert Arenas say stuff, he's on both ends of the spectrum. Sometimes he say something totally dumb, but a lot of times he say stuff that makes sense. Yeah. You know, so when you're a thinker and you say and you also a pro athlete at one sport, I kind of take heavy consideration in what you say. And I think Kwame Brown is a thinking man. Now, when you're super biased like Shannon Sharpe and you didn't play basketball, I can't take much you say serious.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Nah, at all. So I take what Kwame say more into consideration than what I take from anybody that's on that platform, whether it's Skip or Shannon Sharpe. Man.
Absolutely.
So I just don't get it now. Let's get to the points of what he was saying, because what Shannon did not do is say, okay, this is what Kwame is saying, and let me disagree with him and tell you why I disagree. He didn't say that. But instead of attacking the point, he attacked the person who was the messenger. He attacked the messenger. So he's saying, well, instead of me saying what he's saying is not true and explaining why, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't even listen to him. That's basically what he did. Yeah. But what he said is LeBron doesn't have a bag. He don't have a go-to move. He shouldn't have went down in all that traffic trying to get a game winner. And MJ and Kobe basically would not have done that. What's wrong with what he said?
Nothing.
And I agree with it. And Shannon Sharpe knows is a valid point. That's why he had to come in and he had
defensive.
Yeah.
It's a legit take though. I mean, we've seen it for 20 years. Like there's really been no progression except for maybe the passing and
No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, no, I mean, in the beginning of his career, he was all drive, all, downhill. He eventually started branching out a little bit of mid-range.
I don't know, Chris, because if you look at his first game against Sacramento, he was pulling up mid-range jump shots. I lie to you not. Now, yeah, fast break and getting downhill and getting to the rim was majority of his game, but the way the game was played back then, it was necessary that he had that mid-range. The game kind of changed after LeBron got in. It kind of changed a little bit where, like, it was moving toward where it's at, because David Stern had already made the decision that he wanted to adopt the European game. It just took a while to transition all those big guys out that was in, like Weber and Shaq, Malone, all them dudes that was in the league. They had to get them up out of there. Garnett, but he was able to transition it, opening it up, and then of course Nash, Steph Curry with all the 3-point shooting, space and pace, and D'Antoni. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But that was changing. But so when LeBron first got there, he was pulling up mid-range jump shots, and I think if David Stern wouldn't have changed the league, LeBron probably would have continue to be like that. But what ended up happening is when they started finding out he was such a great passer and they wanted to put him at point guard or put the ball in his hands. That's the type of teams they was building around. Let's just get all shooters. Let's spread the floor, high screen and roll, and it kind of messed up his development. He could have been a good mid-range shooter.
He could have been.
But
that's not what happened though.
That's not what happened though.
And for the first 7 years, he might have had that little mid-range game, but for the first 7 years, it was mostly just either barrel down or kick it out.
Yeah, pretty much.
He didn't really change the game or change his game until he got to Miami. That when they surrounded him with more shooting talent
and superstars. But that first finals against Dallas
exposed him.
He got exposed. And if you listen to all the ESPN and all the radio stations back then, they was complaining about him not having a post game because like if you're gonna play with Bosh and Wade, you and Wade can't be in the same spots that y'all like because y'all like the same spots.
Yeah.
How are you gonna do that? Somebody's got to decide to do something different. So they were saying LeBron need to develop a post game. So that summer that's when he went and worked with Kim Olajuwon. And they said he needed to develop his mid range, or both, right? Either or both.
Yeah.
And he chose to go get with Hakeem, and all that was cosmetics. He wasn't really trying to learn from Hakeem. I mean, it was just that I want to show everybody I'm doing something to develop my game, right? Because he didn't work well. I don't think he went to Hakeem and was really locked in trying to learn from him at all. He just wanted us to know he was doing it. Dwight did it as well, but I think Dwight actually learned some stuff from him.
Yeah.
But LeBron came back and still was playing the same way. He wasn't going in the post that much. Only thing that changed was Wade changed. Wade said, "Okay, I'm not going to demand the ball. I'm not going to try to do too much stuff with the ball. I'll let LeBron do all of it." That's what changed. LeBron didn't change his game. Wade changed his.
Well, Wade's knees made him change his game.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that,
Wade's
man.
knees got bad.
Hit the second year? No, not the second year.
No.
Not the second year. He changed his game that second year and they won it.
Yeah. Well, they wasn't gonna let. That's another topic because I'm an OKC fan, but they wasn't gonna let that experiment lose 2 years in a row because OKC was the better team. Harden
didn't show up though. I was in Guam when that series happened, so I wasn't watching a lot of basketball in Guam because the time difference was just. I was just missing. I was at work almost every time.
I stand behind that. I think getting all them pieces together in Miami, they lose the first year.
Mm-hmm.
They were not gonna let them lose that experiment that got so much criticism 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you, but I just don't know because I wasn't watching it.
Yeah,
like so I don't like with that series.
Think about it like this, right? If I remember correctly, because this was a while ago, but to get to those finals, OKC beat Dallas,
Lakers,
San Antonio.
Crazy work.
Defending champs, and then the other 50+ win teams.
Crazy work.
And none of them went 7, I don't think.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
They were the better team.
They may have been. I got to go back and watch it. But what I do know is Harden wasn't ready, and Westbrook wasn't ready. Westbrook
for sure
was not. That was not ready. Right.
I still blame Westbrook for that collapse to this day.
Yeah. So you know what? I want to go back and watch those games in full because I do remember getting some, watching some of those games, but it was like doing work, so I'll be like on lunch break. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, man. So, but yeah, you're right. He probably didn't develop parts of his game like he should have. He did develop the three a little bit better. I think he posted a little bit better. Like
in the most minute.
Sure, but he's not like Giannis. Like Giannis is I'm getting to the rim, and that's it. If you back off me 6 feet, I might pull that three. I might make it. I might not. If I get hot, I might go 40%.
Yeah.
On a normal day, I'm 20%. right? If you put me to the
From
line,
the 3 and the free throw line.
yeah, if you put me to the line and I'm hot, I might shoot 73. If I'm not hot, I might shoot 50. Right? So I mean, but LeBron is way past that. He's not what Giannis is.
Yeah.
LeBron is more developed than Giannis. He still struggle from 3, still struggle from free throw line. But every now and then he'll go in the post, he can get that fadeaway. But this is the thing about when you're doing something that's not natural to you. Like I can get this fadeaway when I'm playing OKC and I'm trying to pass Kareem for the record, and we losing by 10 and ain't no pressure on me, and it's the third quarter. Yeah, I can bump and get a fadeaway then. But can I go to that shot for a game winner? Am I comfortable enough to do it for a game winner? No.
You look at all the game winners that, minus a couple, most of them look like lucky shots.
Yeah, it's desperation. So if he got time to think about what shot he want for a game winner. Let's say he got 8 seconds to do it, and he got a choice between going to the basket or stopping and pulling up.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna try to get to the basket. But the game winners he's got a game winner against Orlando when they got put out by Orlando in the playoffs. He hit that 3 at the top of the key.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ones I think one against Boston when he was driving to the left and he shot it with his right hand and went off the glass.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is desperation. It's like I had no choice but to take those shots. Yep. Either it wasn't enough time, or when I make my move to the basket, that's the only shot I could get.
He's got a runner from the elbow against Portland. Like it's just, it doesn't. It's some of them are lucky.
Yeah. So if he shoots outside the paint, it's because he didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
But if he has a choice, he's going to drive, and hopefully he can get a double and he can kick it out to a shooter. That's what he want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Or drive and get a layup. That's where he's more comfortable with in the paint.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit though, right? His teammates did not show up at all.
Which ones?
Anthony Davis.
He showed up, I think.
6 for 15. That's showing up.
What, he was 6 for 15 for one game?
The elimination game.
Yeah, but they wasn't featuring him. Like that's the thing you don't understand. LeBron was cooking in the first half. He had 31.
And
so
then he had 9 in the second half.
Okay.
Because
so
he played every minute minus 4.5 seconds.
He had 9 in the second half, but they were still featuring him. They went away from that. He got so hot in the first half that they went away from that offense where Schroeder would be running the show, or Austin Reeves, or Lonnie Walker, or D'Lo. And they went right back to Bron ball. And the whole second half, Bron was like, I'm hot. I'm the mismatch. So they just gave him the ball and he brought the ball up and he was doing his thing at the top of the key. But that's not how he got his 31 points. He got his 31 points playing power forward and getting the ball at the mid post and making a move to the basket.
But still, as the teammates, right? At this point, you're supposed to, if it's not LeBron or AD, you guys have to be ready at all times, right? D'Lo has been gone the whole series.
Ready for what?
Ready to go. I know it's hard because you can't get into a rhythm if you don't get any touches.
Of course.
But that doesn't excuse D'Angelo Russell, who touched the ball the whole entire series.
Well, I mean,
and was
but you got other options other than D'Lo. That's on Darvin Ham for sticking with D'Lo so long. He showed you this wasn't the series that he was go flourish in, and you should have benched him.
He definitely looked like a rookie coach in this.
I wouldn't say he looked like a rookie coach because what he did against the Kings was not the Kings, but the Warriors was magical.
No. I'm just talking about this round. It showed because you saw what Lonnie Walker did in the previous round, but you put him back in a lesser rotation role.
He didn't have it either. This series was for Reeves and Schroeder. D'Lo showed he wasn't gonna show up. Reeves and Schroeder should have been the guys he was riding.
Reeves was the only one remotely close to showing up.
Yeah, and we never got to see what Beasley could offer.
Or
right?
Vanderbilt.
The same. No, Vanderbilt got a chance, but was
it this game that Rui got hurt, or this series that Rui got hurt, or was
yeah.
They didn't even use Rui that much in the
Well, he was starting the last 2 games. But the thing is, the same way he found that goal with Lonnie Walker last series, instead of trying to go right back to the well, he had other people on the bench. He should have tried Beasley out to see what he had. Yeah. Just like he tried out Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson gave him an amazing 10 minutes defensively and on the rebound. Right. So I mean, that was a mistake by Ham for not going to go find somebody that was going to work. Beasley could have worked and sticking with D'Lo too long, and then not instructing his guys to play more physical with Jokic. Like, yeah, I mean, that would have been the key to the game. Like, seriously, like you got they was guarding him too nice.
They was guarding who too nice?
Jokic.
Cap.
Guarding him way too nice. Way too nice. If Jokic has the ball at the top, all right. For example. The last game, the Lakers was going on. I think they might have been down 2, maybe 4. They needed to stop. LeBron was on Jokic. Jokic got the ball at the top of the key and stood there with his hand up for about 3 seconds while LeBron was standing there, arms length, just with his hand right there. Mm-hmm. And Jokic was just looking, and then he threw this pass to Aaron Gordon and he dunked it because Aaron Gordon had a mismatch down low. Jokic should have never had a chance to stand there and just look down the guy he was going to pass it to. It's almost like when you trying to do an inbounds pass and you want pressure on the inbounders. You don't give them an option to get a clean look at a pass for a game winner. So when Jokic gets the ball at the top of the key, that's when you should be the most physical with him.
So where was Anthony Davis?
What do you mean?
That's who should have been guarding Jokic.
No, not when he's at the top of the key.
Why not?
Because I want someone that can move their feet faster than Jokic. I want either LeBron or Rui Hachimura on him, but I don't want you there playing arm's length away. I want you in his guts.
So
pause. Right? And I want you in his guts, right? I want you pushing him away. I want you so close to him that he had to turn his back to protect the ball.
AD had some good defensive possessions against them. There was those two circus shots for the shot clock.
Right.
AD was in his grill, pressuring him in his jersey. So why
weak defense? Weak defense.
That was weak defense.
Now, yeah, you was there enough to get a hand in his face, but it wasn't physical enough.
Forcing him to do some crazy
shot up. What did Boston do to Kevin Durant when he had the ball at the top of the key last year?
So if that's the case, then the defense that PG had on Damian Lillard that year, that he hit that crazy shot to knock him out the playoffs, was that weak defense?
He was probably 3 feet away from him because Dame Lillard was so far out that he wasn't on him. Does Dame Lillard get that shot off if PG-13 is in his hip pocket? No, he got to drive to the hole.
I think he wasn't in his hip pocket, but I think he was closer than.
No, he wasn't in his hip pocket. He was on. Dame Lillard was so far away that's why he said after the game that was a bad shot because and even on his podcast, PG-13 talked about it again, and he was saying why he wasn't close to him because like there's no way you're gonna shoot that for a game winner.
It's Damian Lillard though.
Well, I mean.
Well, now you know.
He learned the hard way, but my thing is,
I think AD's defense on those possessions against Jokic was better than
the contest was good, but
that's what you need.
But there's no shot if you in his hip pocket. You're forcing him. Okay, so when you're giving him space and you're just there, he's got all of the options in the world. He can definitely pass it because ain't no pressure on him. Right, he can definitely drive by you because ain't no pressure on it. He can definitely pull up. You giving him all 3 options of a triple threat, right? If you in his hip pocket, he can't shoot it while you in his hip pocket. He not gonna be able to see cutters because he turning at least halfway, right? So the only option you're giving him is the drive. And when you have LeBron or Rui on Jokic and you give him only one option to drive, you lessen the chances of him making a play. He's only going to be able to go all the way to the hole because he's not going to stop and pop. Once he started driving, he going to the rim. That's the only thing he got, which is what we seen from LeBron when he went for the game when he got to the rim. Defense was there, right? LeBron is just as good as passing as Jokic. You got to get in the hip pocket and force them to drive. Just like when you run a shooter off the 3-point line. You don't run up on them and, and I'm gonna stop 2 feet in front of you.
Well, then that's their fault. Because they got away with a lot of fouls. So they could have got in there.
Who got away with a lot of fouls?
The Lakers.
You boy, stop.
The Lakers got away with a lot of fouls.
Jay Jones said D'Lo and Schroeder were both dookie. Schroeder showed up kind of in game 4. Definitely showed. Should have went with Beasley. Yeah. D'Lo was straight trash, but I like what Schroeder gave them, man. Like, you ain't looking for a lot of offense from him that much anyway, but I think he was still playable.
I don't like his 3-point celebration. I hate it.
Hold on, what's his 3-point celebration?
When he do the little arm thing.
D'Lo's?
No, Dennis Schroeder.
Well, he got it from D'Lo.
Yeah, but he makes it look worse.
For real?
Yeah, because at least D'Lo was just like, I got the ice. He was just tapping and just go by. Dennis Schroeder would just stand there, and he's already ugly looking.
Yeah.
And then he'll just,
Well, you
I'm just like, man, I hate the Lakers. So,
yeah, and that's probably why you saying they get away with fouls.
But no. That's basketball. They got away with a lot, so they were doing a lot of hand checking and a lot of hand fighting, right? Getting away with it. But when Denver does the exact same thing, they was getting. And then let's talk about the 2 charges that shouldn't have existed at all.
Which two
the 2 back-to-backs that gave Jokic his 4th and 5th fouls.
That was absolutely charges.
No, they weren't. LeBron was still moving.
I explained this to you when you tried to
show me no paperwork.
What you mean show you no paperwork?
So you said you was gonna show me. I said show me in writing, because every time
so you telling me that you can't still be moving?
No,
and get a player control foul.
That's literally what every time somebody takes a charge and it goes to review to be overturned or not, they're seeing if the player is still moving.
Yeah, but that's a player that went airborne and you're trying to take a charge that way. Player control, offensive foul, you don't have to be still. If I'm guarding you and I'm in a legal guarding position, and I'm moving this way, I got right to a spot as well. If I beat you to that spot and you put your elbow in my chest or your shoulder in my chest, I don't have to not be moving to get that player control. And Jokic definitely put his shoulder and his elbow in LeBron's chest, and it was square on his chest. LeBron beat him to the spot.
I disagree,
bro. I've drawn so many charges like that in every league I've played. That
needs to be reevaluated.
What do you mean?
If you're still moving,
that you mixing that up with an airborne player. I can't. Once you get airborne, I can't slide up under you and be moving and try to get my chest squared, right? So I have to be still. I have to be in legal position and be still with my feet stationary when you're in the air. Because it's not right for a person to get in the air because he ain't got nowhere else to go. So he get in the air and then you slide in there for a charge. You can't do that. But when you guarding and he's on the move, he's not airborne and he's dribbling. If we're both trying to get the spot X and my feet gets the spot X quicker than yours, and then it's a bang bang, I get there and then you right in my chest, that's an offensive player control foul.
It needs to be that if both players are on the same trajectory, right? Jokic headed on this line to the rim, and LeBron defending, backing up on that same line. If he barrels into him, cool, that's a charge. But if LeBron has to come from another angle and still sliding in to impede,
no, he's not sliding in.
He did slide in. He slid in both times.
He's sliding by moving his feet defensively.
Jokic was here, Brown was here, and he came and slid.
Yeah, but you acting like Jokic didn't lower his shoulder and put his shoulder in LeBron's chest. You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
What you gonna do if somebody cut you off like that? You just gonna run into him face up?
You go get your 4th foul. That's what I'm gonna get my 4th foul if somebody beat me to a spot and I go right in his chest. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a foul.
I disagree.
Well, you disagree because you don't want it to be a foul, but that's a foul. That's an offensive foul. Nobody disagreed that was commentating the game. None of the referees.
Yes, they did.
None of the referees disagreed. Nobody disagreed. That was a charge.
I remember some commentators saying that wasn't a charge.
That's a lie. That's a lie from hell.
Both of them.
That's a bold-faced lie.
I'm gonna have to go look it up.
I was sitting there watching the game.
So was I.
Mark Jackson said.
I was texting you.
Mark Jackson said, and what is he complaining about? As a matter of fact, the whole game, Mark Jackson and Van Gundy was saying they need to stop complaining for these counts. And every time they replayed it, it was like, that's a foul. What are they complaining about? They got to stop complaining. At the halftime show, Charles Barkley said the Denver Nuggets got to stop complaining. Those are fouls. Everybody was saying that. Every foul they complained about was a foul. They were
also complaining about the fouls that they
exactly, because they were saying, well, look, the Lakers are doing it too. The only thing that changed is in Denver, the first 2 games in Denver, they were allowed to get away with everything. And then they went up 2-0. They came to LA, and in LA, it was LA's turn to get a little bit of favor. We've seen it like that all the time in the playoffs. A home team will get more calls than the away team. So when the tables turned, Denver was like, you're not supposed to be doing this, because Denver has had the favor the whole playoffs. So whenever they changed and start giving the Lakers some call, the Denver Nuggets was like, oh my God, you're not supposed to call fouls on Jokic. But that's the only game he got in foul trouble. He got 4 fouls.
He got 5 on that one, actually. That last one, he got 5.
That was game 4?
Yeah, he got 5 in that one.
Okay. But the game before that, he got no, as a matter of fact, what game was we talking when he had 3 at halftime?
The sweep.
And then he came out in the third quarter and played real physical and didn't get not 1 foul.
Oh, that was game 3.
That was game 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had 3. Everybody was like, he complaining about those fouls. He came out at halftime and didn't get another foul for the rest of the game.
Or was that game 4?
I think it was game 3.
Because I remember you saying he fouled 4 times in one possession and not one of them got called. Right. I can't remember if that was 3 or 4. Mm-hmm. But same could be said for the Lakers. Lakers was over there just and then
but the Lakers got actual good defenders.
So
right?
What?
Yes. So
because you're a good defender, a foul
you get the benefit
foul?
of you get the benefit of the doubt. So if we go to the NFL and Darrell Reeves is playing a receiver with that's not that known for being that good. He's not on the caliber of Darrell Reeves.
Right.
And they're going down there and there's a little bit of hand fighting while the ball is in the air. Who you think will get the favor of the call? The receiver or Darrell Reeves? Right. So when you're looking at someone like AD and someone is coming up and throwing a body and he's going straight up and blocking the shot, right? Mm-hmm. And this player is trying to draw a foul. Who you think the referee is going to get the benefit of the doubt to? The guy who has shown that he's a great shot blocker and he doesn't foul that often, or the guy that's trying to throw his body at him, right? So when you look at AD blocking shots, or Rui Hachimura, or Dennis Schroeder, these guys are great defenders. They're gonna be able to get away with a little bit more. Denver Nuggets don't have great defenders at all. Michael Porter Jr., Jokic, Jamal Murray, none of them are great defenders. Aaron Gordon is. And Aaron Gordon got a lot of leeway playing against Kevin Durant. They let Aaron Gordon do whatever the hell they wanted to do with Kevin Durant. Mm-hmm. Right? And it was like, he's a great defender. Let him get away with it. KD just got to figure it out. But they didn't do that for Denver. They was treating Denver like they great defenders. Like Jokic could do no wrong. How is Jokic getting the same benefit of the doubt as Anthony Davis?
Yeah. There was one play. Aaron Gordon went up for a dunk and AD blocked it. But AD, when you look at the replay, caught nothing but hand. But I hear, like, when going for a block, you can, I guess in certain situations, you can hit the person's hand.
They say the hand is part of the ball.
I think that's such crap.
Well, I mean, if it could be crap, but if it's the rule, it's the rule.
That's a foul, though. If you do that for a steal, it's a foul, right?
The hand is part of the ball.
I don't understand how that doesn't make any sense to me. If I smack your hand to get to the ball, that's a foul.
On a shot, they say the hand is part of the ball, especially a jump shot, because when you're trying to block a shot and I get there and you shoot it and that hand touches my hand, that'd be unfair to the defender if they call that foul, right? Or if I get there to try to block the shot, the ball the ball is gone and I hit that hand, the ball is gone. So the NBA pretty much said, look, we'll allow the hand to be part of the ball. But sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't. It just depends on how bad it affected the shot.
I thought that was pretty egregious because when they showed the replay, he got no ball. It was just all hand.
If I remember correctly, he got ball. If I remember correctly.
No. You know what? We're not talking about the same dunk then.
Maybe not.
Because it was in the fourth, I believe, of game 4. Aaron Gordon went up for a dunk. Clear lane.
Yeah.
All his. He was about to, and then Anthony Davis got the hand.
You know how many fouls Aaron Gordon got away with on Kevin Durant, and how many fouls Jokic got away with on Kevin Durant?
How many?
And Booker.
I don't know why they keep disrespecting my boy either like that.
Well, he the next Melo. I mean, you.
Well, no, he got 2 rings. So
no, I'm saying as far as the superstar that's not getting.
Yeah, shout out to Melo for retiring,
superstar calls no more. I mean, once you run out of superstar call in favor, you know it's gonna change a lot, man.
But see, for me, KD always been playing from behind because KD was the biggest threat to LeBron's legacy.
Sure.
So he never really had a fair shake, and anything that he does, they always
until he went to Golden State. When he went to Golden State, it was like we can't cheat this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
so they got out of it by getting lucky with it. Because honestly, man, even if only Klay goes down and you still have KD, the Raptors do not win that series.
Probably not.
You still got Steph and KD.
KD was on a mission too. I think that was the best he had been, man. When he got to Golden State, man, he was in his prime. Everything was clicking. He was healthy.
The pressure was off him. He actually had co-stars that
it wasn't even about pressure. It was just he was on the top of his game. Like he could have went on the championship run if he stayed in OKC. They just would have had to get rid of Westbrook and bring in some better talent. Like he would put it this way: they was up on them 3-0. I mean, 3-1. They was up on the Warriors 3-1. This is supposed to be the Warriors that everybody's saying is unbeatable.
73-9.
Well, it was, yeah, exactly. So he was about to put the 73-9 Warriors up out of there, 3-1, and then something changed, just like something changed in this Boston series, right? Something changed. They started calling the game different, and these boys came back from down 3-1 to win.
So, are they calling this Boston series different, or is Boston kind of?
This past game, yes. The game the first game that they won, game 4, I couldn't really see. It was a good called game, but the way they turned up their defense and the way they're getting after it, it's been helped or it's been facilitated by how they're officiating it. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't turn up your defensive intensity that much and really do a lot of damage unless they're going to let you get away with a little bit of fouling. Right. And then the fouls that the Celtics are getting now, like, you know, when the game was out of hand last night, I think it was a 20-8 free throw difference for Boston. Yeah. So I remember watching game 3 when they went up 3-0, and I remember Jaylen Brown going to the hole. He got some contact. Referee was like, I ain't calling that. And they was like, what the heck with the foul? I lie to you not. The same exact type of play. He went to the hole and got that foul. He got the N1 last night, or what last game, got the N1. And I was like, yeah, that's the difference, man. The calls that they weren't getting and the losses they're getting now. So not only can Miami not turn up their intensity and be as physical with Boston, Boston is able to do it on the other end. Yeah. And that's all it takes to change. I'm a tweet. You ever played 2K? And you know how the sliders is all 50. And then when you go up to Superstar and you look at the sliders, they move it a little bit. Right? So it's slated to the computer a little bit. You know what I mean? So the fouls might be 45 for you, but 55 for the computer. And just that little bit of difference changes the whole. And I want you to go do that. I want you to go play a game of 2K, and I want you to put your fouls on 45, which means that. What does that mean? That they go call less fouls your way, and then turn it up 55 the other way, and they go call more. That means they go call more. And somebody you see, it's gonna make a difference. And that's just a slight to the sliders. That's not even a lot. And that's all the referees do. They be like, all right, we're gonna call a little bit more for Boston, a little bit less for Miami. And that'd be the difference.
I don't know, man. You think they do the impossible? You think they got it in them?
They could. So, I mean, they came into the series supposedly being the better team, right?
4 straight in the
playoffs. Yeah, why not? I mean,
crazy.
Miami. Well, first of all, they only really need to win 3 straight, right? Because going into a game 7 3-3, that's pretty much saying it's one game, better team win, right? So all they got to do is win this next one, and they going into a game 7 tied 3-3. Miami won 3 straight.
Yeah, but 3 ain't 4.
Okay, but that ain't the mindset you have. Now that it's 3-2, we just got to win one more, and we get to a game 7, and that game 7 is in Boston.
If Miami can't close it out, I don't, because game 7 in Boston, that's gonna. I mean, they stole the first 2 in Boston, so it's not impossible.
No, it's impossible. If it goes to a game 7 in Boston,
no, I'm just saying it's not impossible like they've done it, but
it's impossible. They're not winning a game 7 in Boston. I guarantee you, that game won't even be close.
So, do you think we finally see that unreachable?
Yeah. Why not? We saw 3-1 in the finals, right? We saw 3-1 come back in the finals.
But 3-3, I can't remember who said it. Who Jalen Rose was telling Richard Jefferson on NBA Today. He was like, 3-1 is not 3-0. You know what I'm saying? Like,
until it's 3-1.
No, because all the 3-1s was like it was 1-1. Then
we just seen Denver beat the Lakers 4 straight games. Why can't the Celtics win 4 straight?
Why didn't they win the first 3?
That's a question that you got to do a deep dive on. Miami was playing really good.
So what happened between games 1 and 3?
I told you what happened. They start calling the game different.
So
they gonna need a little help.
Who? Boston?
Yeah, they gonna need a little help.
Yeah.
Well, both teams need help. If the whistle is not on their side, it's gonna be hard for you to win. Your chances become better when they're saying, "Look, we gonna let y'all play real rough and tough," and on the other end, we're not gonna let them play y'all rough and tough.
I don't know, man. It was like, okay, they got game 4. Cool. When they got game 5 and then pretty handedly, it's like, all right, what's going on here? Like, for the longest time, forever, since the NBA has been a thing, nobody's ever came back down from 3-0.
Yeah.
Why now? Why these 2 teams? Why this series?
Because the team that's probably better, has a better team, went down 3-0. And when a better team goes down, most times when a team go down 3-0 is because they're outmatched. Boston is not outmatched by Miami. Boston has the better team. They had the better record all regular season. Mm-hmm. They got a superstar and a fringe
all-star.
Nah, he's an all-star for sure. But he has superstar potential. Mm-hmm. Right? Jaylen Brown and as a number 2 is just as good as Jimmy Butler. And he might be better. So just picture that. Imagine you having Jason Tatum, the best guy in the series, and then your second best guy is just as good as their best guy.
Well, Jason Tatum really ain't been the best guy in this series.
But he is, though.
On paper, he's supposed to be.
No, it's not on paper. It's on the floor, too.
In the regular season, yeah.
Yeah, when he didn't have – look, none of those guys, not even Kevin Durant is good enough to not need the whistle. When you don't have the whistle, it changes you. It changes your game.
How does it change you bricking the whole game?
Because it's all mental. It's all mental. If you like if you watch Jimmy Butler and them last night, their drives to the hole yesterday, instead of going in there trying to get the layup, they're rather kick it out because they knew they're letting them foul us. And if I go down here and try to get this layup and they foul me, it's gonna be a missed shot or something, probably even a block, and I'm not gonna get a good shot off. So now I'm playing for wide open shots. I don't want shots over people because they're letting them cross the line on their physicality.
Right.
So I want wide open shots. So I'd rather drive and dish out and try to get an open three than drive and try to get this contact and then get a layup because I'm not getting no favors on the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
It changes everything about how you play.
When's game 6? Today or tomorrow?
I think it's today. And if Miami can't win this game,
they might have just squandered a 3-0.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Denver and Boston series, which I would rather see because I think Boston is a better challenge for Denver than Miami is. So I would rather see Boston in the finals than Miami.
So who do you put on Jokic most of the time if you're Boston?
Yeah, whoever you want. You can throw. Okay, the way they guarded Embiid, I would love to see them adopt that same thing. Now it'll be a little bit different because Jokic plays from the top of the key sometimes, and he passes from the top of the key. But if you've seen the way they guarded Embiid, it's a formula that they can use to guard Jokic, and it's gonna take from them being real physical, which I wanted LA to do, be real physical, and don't give him no clean passes or nothing like that, man. He can't just stand there and look for a pass.
Yeah.
He said the game is Saturday, so the game is tomorrow.
They played last night. Then.
Yeah. So, but you can put Al Horford on him. He'll get physical with him. You can put Robert Williams on him. You can put Grant Williams on him. And sometimes you can put Jaylen Brown. They use all those same guys for Embiid for different reasons, right? And it's the same thing when you put Rui on him. That is going to stabilize some of the things you do from the top of the key because you're not going to blow past Rui or LeBron. So now you got a guy with quicker feet than Jokic that he's not going to be able to beat to the rim off the dribble.
Right.
So you take that part away from him. So now in his mind, he was like, well, I can't beat him off the dribble, but I'm bigger than him, so I can back him down. And then you find out Rui and LeBron is stronger than you think. Right. So that's not even as easy as you wanted it to be. So it changes things. Now, what they would do with Boston is Grant Williams, of course, he moves his feet better than Jokic, but he's also thick and strong enough to guard him in the post.
Right.
Right. Al Horford, he might be. I think he can move his feet better than Jokic, and he's also strong enough to guard him in the post.
Yeah. Right.
So they'll throw that at him.
Okay. We'll see.
But Miami,
they have to win. If they don't win this game, I think we might see it. I think Boston wins it back at home.
It's not that spectacular to me.
You don't think so?
No, not for a team that's supposed to be the better team.
Something we ain't never seen before.
Nah.
What is it?
If it happened in the first round with a 8 seed and the number 1 seed,
it almost did.
With who?
Oh well, no.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Miami was an 8 seed, Milwaukee was a number 1 seed. If Milwaukee had went up 3-0 and nobody got injured, and then Miami walked them down and won 4 straight games, that'd be spectacular. It's not gonna be that spectacular for Boston to do it. They're the better team, right? They're just a better team. So they should have 4-0'd them from the jump.
That's what we thought.
All right. So if they 4-0 them now, it's not spectacular.
I think it still got a little.
I mean, mentally, for you to mentally say, dang, we gotta win 4 straight games and we can't win none. I mean, we can't lose none, or we going home. Yeah, mentally that's one thing. But it's almost like if you outmatch someone that you can fight, right? Let's say you fighting your son, if you have one, you know you can beat your son, right? And y'all was like, man, best out of 7, and he come out and beat you 3 times because you playing around. All right, man, turn it on. I can get 4 straight. That's how much better Boston is than Miami. They're better than them, and they know it. So mentally, it wasn't even a thing. They just needed the whistle. Yeah. Once they got the whistle, they was like, ain't nothing y'all can do now.
We shall see.
All right.
We shall see.
Whoever got the whistle will win.
It's on Miami, so I think it might be them.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Maybe not though. And then you gotta understand what they might be thinking about mentally too. Kyrie Irving, right? He's trending. Well, for one, he got a couple of IG posts out there. I don't know if you've seen them. Yeah, he just talking about, how all the rumors that you've seen on TV and people saying I'm going to this team or that team. He was like, just don't believe it. He was like, I'm taking my time. I don't know.
Should.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going, man. Just
Phoenix.
So but max deal on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas said they want to re-sign him. So I think he might get an offer from Dallas. He might have offers from other teams too. And then there's still rumors about him going to the Lakers, right? But that's going to probably be a sign and trade with Dallas. Anywhere he go other than Dallas, probably going to be a sign and trade.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he's getting a max deal unless he wants to go somewhere where he has to take less money. But from what we know, he would be getting a max deal. And the rumor is also that Puma and Adidas is interested in signing him to a new shoe deal.
Mm-hmm.
So given it everything he lost because of the COVID and because of the tweet and all that stuff, and
Stephen A. Smith
and Stephen A. Smith and the trade requests, and people saying he ain't never gonna get a max contract and all this crazy stuff, man. How does it? How do you look at it that he might be getting a shoe deal and a max contract, and everyone said he don't deserve it? How you feel about it?
I feel like it's overdue. I mean, the guy never really on the court showed us that he didn't deserve. Every time he stepped on the court, he left it out there.
Yeah.
When he was in Brooklyn and KD was still out for injury, James Harden was hurt, he was putting up the 40s and the 50s, willing those teams to those games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you give him a ball, you put him on the court, he's gonna perform. He got to Dallas, single-handedly beat the Lakers. And you know what I'm saying, set up the game-winning shot.
Yeah.
And he was cooking them the whole. He performs. He's a hooper. He's a baller. His off-court stuff, which is not even really serious off-court stuff compared to certain people,
but compared to Bullet Boy,
compared to NBA Dumb Boy,
certain
stuff that people do off the court that can jeopardize on it. It's nowhere near. It was a personal decision that a lot of people in the country also took the same stance.
Facts.
Did not get the vaccine.
Facts.
And he tweeted a link.
Facts.
There have been way other major infractions by other players that got less attention.
There's been gambling. There's been
guns in locker rooms.
There's been strippers with weed.
It's been
a lot of stuff.
And I told you this earlier. I feel like the media just had their hands on too much of the actual business side of sports.
I don't think they should discuss it. I don't think they should discuss a man's paycheck contract or what contract he should be getting. I don't even think that's fair game for an analyst.
Because now you get a GM and an owner that don't know what they're doing, i.e. Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna listen to the people that they think know something because they've been there
for
20 years or whatever. Well, he still has a job for ESPN because he's been saying this, so he must be right.
Yep.
And they're gonna. So Kyrie should have got the max, but you know what? It all worked out because that was a toxic situation for him to be in. So I'm glad that he didn't get the max in Brooklyn because that would have been. KD probably would still got shipped off. Honestly,
you think?
Absolutely.
No,
I think KD probably would still got shipped off.
Why?
Well, James Harden and Ben Simmons both. So when James Harden was there and he got hurt and then just kind of malingered his way through those playoffs into the and then was like, yeah, I'm out. And then they end up getting Ben Simmons. And not to say that injuries aren't serious, right? Especially back injuries.
Right.
When you were an athlete that deals with a lot of jumping.
Right.
Back injuries are serious, right? But you've been promising this guy a core for 4 years.
Promising who?
KD.
Okay.
You've been promising him a core for 4 years. One of which you lost because he was still rehabbing from injury. And then you lost the beginning of another one with the whole Kyrie Irving situation. And it's like, you had 1 year where you possibly had all the pieces together, and they still didn't even play that many games together. Him, KD, Kyrie, and James, I think might have played a total of regular season and playoffs like 20 something games. Like that is unacceptable. And I think when KD's contract was up, he was gonna leave regardless. I hate it as a KD fan because now you get into the team hopping, the super team building, and what kind of tainting does it do to his legacy? And people like to discount the 2 rings he got in Golden State. I believe thoroughly that without KD, Golden State does not win those 2 rings against Cleveland. KD was very instrumental in Golden State going back to back.
Yeah, I agree.
And
wait, but hold on. That still don't explain. You still
because you
but why would Brooklyn, if they would have signed Kyrie, why would Brooklyn ship KD off? That don't make sense. KD,
not so much ship, but at the end of his contract, he would have left.
Yeah, but that was go line up. So this was what Brooklyn, I think they was trying to do, right? Because what should have happened is, because KD extended first, and they had Harden there, and Harden had 1 year left on his contract, and they had Kyrie there.
Him and KD and Kyrie signed same deal, same year.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant extended.
Yes.
So Kevin Durant and Kyrie came there both on a 4-year deal. And the first year Kyrie didn't play. Well, the first year KD didn't play because of the Achilles. Kyrie played a little bit, and then he got surgery, and he missed the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Right. So that was the first year. The second year was the year. That was the year they got Harden.
No.
Yeah. The second year is the year they got Harden.
No, first year was.
Yeah,
that can't be right.
Yeah, first year KD
he didn't play.
He didn't play, and then Kyrie played a little bit, and then he got surgery, season-ending surgery. The second year,
James Harden got there on the vax year, but he got traded later. He got traded by the deadline.
No. Wait. I got you. No, James Harden got there before the vax year because he showed up in Houston, said he didn't want to play. And he was on the team for probably a month, maybe 2 months before they got the trade.
Y'all in the comments, help me figure this out.
I'm telling you, James Harden got to their second year of the contract, and it was midway through the season. It was before the trade deadline for sure, right? However, they wasn't getting a lot of playing time together because I don't know if KD.
Yeah, I said that because he had got a freak injury where somebody took his knees out, so he ended up.
It was something.
And regular season and postseason together, they'd only played less than 30 games.
Sure,
together, all 3 of them.
But that was also the year that they was whooping Milwaukee's butt.
Yeah, a toenail.
Right, they was whooping his butt. Harden got hurt. Kyrie got hurt, twisted his ankle, and they was up on them. I want to say 2-0, and they blew them out in both games. Right, and then KD got them one more game by himself.
Yeah, that went to 7.
They went to 7, right? So, but he couldn't get him. So that was that year, and then the next year was the COVID year. The next year was supposed to be the year. Okay, they didn't play together that much last year. Everybody got hurt, but now they came into the next year with a full training camp, and everybody was healthy. But that was the COVID year, and that's the year but KD had extended before that. So that was Kyrie's 3rd year of the contract, and KD had already extended.
So KD, okay, so you're right. KD extended because he believed that James was still going to be there.
They was supposed to work on James Harden and Kyrie's contract that year.
James decided he said
he was going to wait.
Yeah, no, James said that he wanted to do this. He decided to do the same thing that he did for Houston. I don't want to play. Because remember, Charles was they was cracking jokes on him on I remember because they was doing the All-Star draft.
Yeah.
And KD was one of the captains.
Yeah, I remember.
And he had just got traded.
Yeah.
And Charles was like,
But that was after they suspended Kyrie and started playing those games, because at the beginning of the season he was saying, I'm not worried about the contract extension, we'll get it done. Yeah. I just want to win. Right. So he was like, yeah, we'll get it done. So he was telling everybody he was gonna stay.
It was right around the time that Harden had got hurt, right around the time they allowed Kyrie to come back full time. Because it was just Harden and KD.
Right.
And then they let Kyrie get away games. And then right around the time he could play full time is around the time James Harden strained his hamstring. And then was sitting out.
It was something like that. It was something like that. But the point is, Kevin Durant had extended
because he thought James was going to be there.
Sure, he had extended.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be James and Kyrie extending after that. And James axed out. Kyrie was still there trying to get his extension. They blamed him for the Boston loss in the whole COVID year. So they said, we don't know if we're going to extend them. Mm-hmm. And they started playing games with Kyrie Irving. Right. So if they would have signed Kyrie Irving, they was going to have to match his years up with Kevin Durant, because they felt like Kevin Durant was a package deal with Kyrie because Kevin Durant wanted Kyrie there. Mm-hmm. Right. And since Kevin Durant wanted him there, I think in their mind, it was like, we'll match your years. That way y'all both can leave together. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? We're not going to keep Kyrie. They didn't want to keep Kyrie without Kevin Durant.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason why they got the deal done, is because they were promising that, we're going to get the extension done for Kyrie. And then it never happened, which is the reason why he asked for the trade the first time.
Right.
Because then he realized, like, okay, well, y'all just lied to me.
Yeah.
Y'all really wasn't intending. Y'all would pay him, but y'all not going to pay him what he deserves.
Correct.
Because of, as you say, off-court decisions. But that's not detrimental as compared to some of the other things, like I said, other things that other players have been doing.
All the games Kyrie missed, except for the week or two he took off for personal reasons.
That was partying.
Right. And they said he went to his sister's birthday party. I mean, like, you take 14 days off and you got me at a party one of those days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm, and the partying he was doing was a small party. It's my sister's birthday. Like, what are you supposed to do? If you ask for time off from your team for 14 days, I need personal stuff. I need personal space. And I go to my sister's birthday party. How do you turn it into something crazy?
Because the media already had it out for Kyrie.
The media already had it out. But when you look at James Harden in the middle of the playoffs asking Doc Rivers to go to Vegas to party with what's his dude name?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby, right?
He loved Lil Baby.
Right. What how is that so important? Right? Kyrie did something with his family. It was his sister's birthday. What is he supposed to do? Tell his mama or tell his dad and his sister, we're not coming to your birthday party because if I get caught on camera, it's gonna look bad for the NBA. No, who's doing that?
Yeah.
You're saying who's doing that? And furthermore, no one's saying nothing about Ja partying with all the people he partied with. He would have been fine if he wouldn't have pulled no gun out.
Yeah. But
he's in a strip club. He's not with his family in a safe environment partying, right? So it is what it is, man. I mean, I know it was COVID, so and social distancing was supposed to be the thing. They weren't supposed to be no party anyway, supposedly, but everybody was chilling with their family.
Yeah, we had already bypassed all that stuff by then.
Everybody was with their family, man.
Yeah.
So I don't see nothing that what's up SB?
I think he's deserving though of both the max and the shoe deal, because Nike that didn't sit right with me, dropping him just like, and now Ja has 2 of the same incidents. They're just now pulling his shoe off the website. They didn't even say they dropped him. They just pulled his shoe off the website.
It's back now.
And it sold out in minutes.
Yeah, sold out.
So
I mean, it's not a bad shoe.
It is nice.
It's not a bad shoe. So I mean, I'm not surprised that it sold out. I'm actually
neither was Kyrie's shoes. Kyrie's
was dope too.
Kyrie had amazing shoes.
I'm glad his shoe sold out.
He had creative input on his shoes.
Yeah. I'm glad his shoe sold out, man, because he need a win right now. He did have his little IG post about saying bye and all that stuff, and messages to his mom, dad, and his daughter and all that stuff. I don't know why we needed to see that. You know, he could have, if he got his mama phone number, that would have been a good message to send her. Hey, I'm getting off IG. You know, I don't know why we needed to see it. So
attention seeking, those post and deletes are real good. You keep it up long enough just for somebody to snap it.
Yeah.
And then goes. Yeah. And you can, you know, but it's there forever after somebody snaps it. You know? That's all he wanted. He just wanted, you know, I was just taking some time off of social media. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So why not say bye to your fans? Why are you saying bye to your mom, your dad, and your daughter?
Yeah, very weird.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, you can't be too sure. So somebody did call over a wellness check by the police.
Yeah.
And they said it was fine, man. So I think, you know, it is what you said it is attention-seeking behavior. I think he's fine. He's all right. But
not to make light of mental illness, because
not at all.
If mental illness is a very real thing, but don't use it as, you know, your crutch for attention.
Well, he really didn't. He didn't go that far though. He didn't go. He just said bye. You know, we don't even know what that means.
Cryptic though.
Very cryptic.
Social media is definitely going to run with it. Like, oh, especially with all this what he's got going on. He's young. He's messing up. He might be losing everything.
Yeah.
And then boom, these cryptic messages. It was like, oh my God, Josh's gonna, you know, unalive himself. Like, it's purposely water cooler talk. Like, man, you think Ja really gonna?
You know, it's also the timing of it is really convenient right before Nike dropped the shoe. And selling out.
You think somebody told him to do it?
I don't know.
To keep his shoe deal?
I mean, I don't know, not to keep his shoe deal, but you know how when a rap
kind of like lessen the blow.
Like to gain some sympathy. Like most of those shoe sales was probably some like, man, this dude down bad. I'm gonna buy this shoe. Cause a lot of people was probably thinking,
cause he don't have enough money.
I ain't about to support Nike or this shoe for this dude portraying this thug and letting all these kids see that, you know what I'm saying? So people especially Mike Wilbon. Okay. Remember what he said when so he said he said his son loves Ja Morant, and he told his son, you not wearing not one of his shoes. We're not buying his shoes. It's a lot of people that think like that. Yeah. Right. So
that's not that's not a wrong way of thinking.
Right. But if there's a lot of people that think like that and Nike knows it, then hey, you know what? We might can grab some sympathy if we have some type of cryptic tweet that might have people concerned about them, and they might change their mind about buying the shoe.
So you think Nike orchestrated that?
Look, Nike is a master at this, right? I mean, people been doing it for years. Rappers been doing it. My album dropped next week. I'm gonna get in the shootout today. Right? So, or album drop next week. I'm going to jail this week.
With that being said, where was the PR team for Kyrie?
Not that it's beyond PR at that point because it's
marketing or whatever.
No, it's beyond that because of the community that was offended.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You don't. Once that community is offended, that's what it is.
You know what's crazy?
You don't play around with it.
Nobody ever cancels anybody or discontinues anybody when our community is offended.
Of course not. Of course not, because our community is offended that we got this dude flashing guns like it's like that's what we're about.
Yeah.
And especially with most of our community following him, we got kids that's doing the gritty because Ja Morant did it. What you think they thinking about now that he has this thug persona and he's flashing guns?
It was actually them LSU boys first. He
stole
it from them.
Sure. But
I'd rather them LSU boys in the NFL. Cause so far they ain't got no scandals and they rocking the grills and everything like that. And kids love them.
Odell Beckham did have that picture with that line of coke on the table.
Really?
Yeah, when he was in New York.
Oh, I just remember the picture of him shirtless with a bunch of dudes on the yacht.
Yeah, that too. All this was around the same time.
They had that's why he had the blonde hair. Yeah. And he was getting into fights with the kicking net.
Yeah, Odell was the first Ja Morant, man. He had the suspect.
Plaxico Burress was the first Ja Morant.
Oh, that's different. That's different though. None of his stuff went viral on a picture or on a video. You know what I'm saying? He just had a gun in New York, which is not legal to have a concealed weapon or unregistered gun. I don't know if it was registered, but he broke some law and then he shot himself. Yeah, by mistake, right? So that's one thing, but putting it on social media is what Ja did, and what Odell pictures went I don't know how they got a hold of that picture with him and that girl with that line of powder and drink, all types of stuff was in that hotel room. You didn't see that?
I'm gonna have to go look for that,
man.
But speaking of what Josh said, actually, out of the two shoes that are rumored to be interested in Kyrie, I kind of want him to do Puma as well, for the simple fact that a Kyrie J. Cole collab shoe would go crazy.
The Pumas?
Yes, because you know J. Cole has his shoes through Puma as well. He's endorsed by Puma. So if they were to do, they on kind of like the same level of wokeness, consciousness. If they were to do a shoe together, that shoe would do. He got to go to Puma. He gotta do Puma.
Puma making some good shoes.
Puma makes some great shoes.
Yeah.
They even got Melo Ball broke jump shot self with some good shoes.
Puma making some real good shoes, man. I think I got them J. Cole's. I didn't know they was J. Cole's.
The Dreamers.
I don't know. I seen some Pumas in the store like 2 years ago or last year, and I was like, man, I like them things, and I got a pair. And then I seen a different color.
I think they're called RS Dreamers.
I got 4 pairs of them joints, and then one day I was wearing them. My homeboy was like, "Are those the J. Cole?" I was like, "I don't know."
Joints fire.
I love them, man. They comfortable
and Puma
too.
Puma hella comfortable.
Yeah.
If he sign with Puma, Kyrie. If you see this, sign with Puma. I'll be the first one to buy that shoe. I don't even hoop no more. I just sit in the corner and shoot threes. I don't even get back on defense, but I'll get that shoe.
You don't like the shoe from the independent dude?
What independent dude?
The dude, as soon as he got dropped by Nike, is his independent dude that makes shoes.
For Kyrie?
Yeah, he wanted Kyrie to come to his.
Oh, I mean, no, I haven't seen him. If it's the same guy that did his
dude,
cover-ups,
what you be doing, man?
Bro, listen.
Good Lord.
Listen, I had to explain to you off air, but if it's the same dude that did his Nike cover-ups, then it's not the same dude.
Nah, this a whole
dude that did
dude.
his Nike cover-ups was, you seen the moccasin ones? Now, them ones are my favorite ones.
Yeah,
but he did some beautiful cover-ups on them Nikes.
Nah, hey, somebody in the chat tell me what's the name of the dude that reached out to Kyrie Irving? He reached out to Kyrie Irving's team, and Kyrie Irving actually got back with him. They had a meeting, and he showed him a prototype of the shoe. What's his name, man? Yeah, but he's an independent cat, man. Independent. He said great points, man. Chris be cooking sometimes. I gotta give it to him sometime, man.
It's the couch.
He'll say some good stuff unless we debating. If we actually on different sides of the conversation, it's gonna be barbecue chicken every time, man. And that's all I do.
I don't think every time.
10 times out of 10.
More like 8. 8. Sometimes I get you. Sometimes I get you. Most times no.
Hey, yeah. Am I tripping, Jay? What was it? Wasn't in the picture with Odell with some girl in the hotel room, and they couldn't tell because the picture was blurred, but it looked like powder on a line of powder on the table.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Odell's always been a colorful character. So.
Yeah. And
usually there are narcotics behind colorful characters. So.
Yeah, Puma. Yeah, that'd be dope for Puma. But yeah, my whole thing is, I'm with you, man. I don't think he deserved to lose. Like he should have been got a max contract, but I mean, Brooklyn didn't deserve him and KD.
Absolutely.
Joe Tsai and Sean Marks did not deserve him.
When your star player says like, I need you to get rid of these people, for us to be successful, and then
you run straight to the public to tell us,
that's you're showing your hand that you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that makes no sense. You know how embarrassing it was that Kevin Durant.
If you're paying your guy $250 million, why would you not listen to him? He's been in the league 15 years.
I don't care if you don't listen.
Championships.
I don't care if you don't listen. Don't run to the public and tell.
Well,
like this is how Joe Tsai leaked it to the public. Well, first of all, when he told on Kyrie Irving, when Kyrie Irving tweeted the movie, this clown went on Twitter and said, and tagged Kyrie and was like, it saddens me that my player did XYZ and posted a film that is anti-Semitic. I want him to come sit down with me so we can talk, blah, blah, blah. Why you tweet that? Like this is what you could have done. You could have seen the tweet and you could have called Kyrie or Kyrie's agent and said, hey, I need him to take this tweet down. We'll talk about it later. But like right now, get him to take it down. Kyrie take it down, and then y'all do damage control behind the scenes. Why did you tweet that and alert everybody? Because what happened was when he tweeted it, the only people that was following Kyrie had seen it. So his 1 million followers who all like Kyrie, at least 98% of them like him. It might be some weirdos that follow him that don't like him, but they just want to follow him to find stuff wrong with him, right? So it might be some of those people, but for the most part, nobody paid attention to what he tweeted because nobody knew nothing about that movie. Yeah. Right? It was only certain type of people who even watched that movie. I knew about that movie 5 years ago, right? So when Josiah tweeted and told everybody that it was anti-Semitic, he brought attention to all of that.
Once you drop that keyword.
And I'm like, man, that's it. And that's the same thing. Kevin Durant called the meeting with Josiah when he found out they wasn't going to sign Kyrie. A private meeting. Josiah leaked it to the public. ESPN announced it. Kevin Durant due to meet with Josiah tomorrow to discuss his future. Dang.
Yeah.
Who told him that? And then after the meeting, Josiah again went out there and said, Kevin Durant asked me to fire Steve Nash and Sean Marks in order for him to stay. And I said, no, I'm sticking with my my front office.
Then
I was like, what the heck?
Dropped a list of teams that KD said were his wish list.
Crazy work.
That's wild.
Crazy work.
Which ended up tainting the market because remember nobody traded for him and then they ended up having to do the deal.
Facts.
They had to play out the rest of the season. That was just terrible.
Just dumb. So they didn't deserve those superstars. We got 5 minutes left to talk about D-Hop before we got to end it. Just got cut by the Cardinals.
Come to Detroit, man.
Now he already said that he's been quoted to say he want Josh Allen to throw him the football. So that's hinting that he want to go to Buffalo. And then Von Miller was also quoted saying that D-Hop told him he wanted to go to Buffalo. So I think Buffalo might be his choice to sign with. He's a free agent. He can sign with anybody. I thought Baltimore would have been good. They just signed Odell Beckham Jr., so I don't know if they got room in the cap to do it. But if Baltimore can do it, I think that'll be a good spot. Philly, Philly, they don't care. I mean, because they got they still got.
Can you imagine,
bro? They still got Smith on a rookie contract. So they really, as far as receiver work, they really only paying AJ Brown, and then even their running backs, Swift, he just signed before he got traded.
No, he was still in his rookie deal.
So Swift's still on the rookie deal. Jalen Hurts just signed, right? So
that's your biggest money.
So they paying their quarterback and one receiver, but everybody else that means something are on rookie deals.
Yeah, you can easily give D-Hop a 3-year deal.
Yeah, so Philly, they don't mind. They'll shake it up.
Can you imagine? You essentially got 3 number ones as your receiving core. That's
Thanks,
crazy.
Jay. Thanks, Jay. He said it was Devlin Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got to look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah. So tell me which team you want to see him go to and which team you think he'll go to.
Well, I want to see him go to Detroit. That's hands down no brainer. I want to see. Outside of that though, shocker, man. I kind of want to see him go to LA, the Rams.
Nah, bro, they done, man.
Another receiver. Everybody's coming back off an injury. Like they're not gonna. If they can play well and get another receiver, because look at the receivers that they got outside of Cooper Kupp. None of them can catch. Ben Skoranek. They let Van Jefferson go. I think. They've been let Robert Woods go, so they have nobody but Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford's gonna need somebody to throw to, right?
Right.
So, Detroit, LA, where I don't want to see him go for sure is the Jets,
right?
Kansas City,
right? Jay just said something about Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't want to see him go to the Jets because Aaron Rodgers will probably just run away with that division at that point.
I want to see that.
Really?
Yeah, I want to see him get a number one target like that.
I would rather see him go to Cincy or Dallas.
Sheesh. I might have to call Corey on that. That boy go to Dallas.
If he goes to Dallas, Dak Prescott has no excuse.
Well, I mean, he already had a setup like that. He had Amari Cooper and Lamb.
Amari was coming off an injury. CD was your best bet. And you still had an O-line that was unproven. But if you have 2 number 1 receivers in DeAndre Hopkins and CeeDee Lamb, and then you got your backup with Michael Gallup or the other one that they signed, one of them, right? You have 2 number 1 receivers. There's no reason you can't get it. You can't get at least an NFC Championship appearance because your defense is still good.
Your
defense is still great,
and they still could bring Zeke back if they wanted to.
And could still bring Zeke back. You still got Tony Pollard coming back, or whatever draft picks they got to help. I think
they should go and sign Zeke. I don't
go get him back.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't even know if that's legal. If you cut a player, can you re-sign them? You probably
I think it's a certain period of time, but I don't see why not.
Yeah. So who knows?
Yeah, those are my 2 that I would see in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow get another weapon, and really give Kansas City a run and Buffalo a run.
He'll be cold in Cincinnati, bro.
Man,
that'll be
him on one side, and
especially with that quarterback.
Jamar Chase on the other side,
especially with that quarterback. That dude,
Joey B is cold.
That dude is Brady and Rodgers put together, man.
He's cold. And they got an O-line now.
Yeah, but I don't want to see him in Kansas City. I really don't.
Yeah, no Kansas City, no Jets, no Buffalo, but Dallas and Cincy, I'll be okay with that.
I'm good with Buffalo. Buffalo.
And I don't want to see him go to San Francisco. I would be okay seeing him in Seattle.
You know what? San Francisco not bad. I mean, because it's just Debo over there.
No, Brandon Ayuk, he was a very good second option.
That ain't no D Hop. But if you got Debo and D Hop,
but the thing about it is you don't know who your quarterback is. You don't know who your quarterback is in San Francisco.
Your quarterback can be me at that point. And seriously,
just D Hop down there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean,
that Hail Murray. Remember when Kyler Murray just threw it?
Listen, I got CMC and Debo, and both of them dudes are threats out of the backfield and threats receiving.
If D Hop goes to San Francisco is a fantasy high spot next season.
I think he should really think about that. And I don't understand. I want to say him saying something about Buffalo was just a smoke screen. I hope he got something else in mind. But I think he was probably thinking if he go to Buffalo, he's hands down number 1.
Jay, I can guarantee you he's not going to Tennessee.
Is that what he said?
No, because he said what the hell? He don't want him to go to either Cincy or Dallas. He said,
how you said I don't see that?
Because I'm on the YouTube. So I got the live comment feed.
I'm looking at it. I don't see it.
Oh, well, maybe because it's kind of hidden on mine, but I can hear show.
I don't see it.
Oh, it's being held for review. That's why.
Oh, he done put a cuss word in it.
He put a couple of them. He mad about that one. Yeah, Tennessee done up, man. I'm sorry to tell you, brother. Y'all are not in the D-Hop sweepstakes.
Yeah. Yeah, not with Tannehill throwing it, but yeah,
or Malik Willis.
I'm pretty sure right now Aaron Rodgers done called
probably number
D-Hop.
1.
Yeah, he probably called them.
Because honestly, D-Hop probably like the closest thing to Devontae Adams.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that'd be cold. But
that's a crowded receiver.
Do he want to go with an aging quarterback? I mean, it's technically the same thing Tampa Bay did with them boys.
Do you rather have a aging quarterback that's 1 year removed off of back-to-back MVPs who can still prove himself?
Okay.
Or a quarterback who's injury prone and shuts down in the second half of the season every year?
Who is that?
Kyler Murray.
Oh, well, we know why he ran from Arizona. I'm just saying, like, if you had a choice between the young up and coming quarterback like Joe Burrow or the old one in Aaron Rodgers, if you D-Hop, where you going?
Honestly, it might come down to the money.
Must be the money.
But if we're talking about the money, then New York not gonna have it.
They not?
Hell no. Aaron Rodgers, they picked up his contract, which was $50 million a year. Not to mention they signed all his pieces that he wanted. I think Allen Lazard got a 3-year deal, like $70 million or something like that. Not to mention you re-signed your what's his name, Quinnen Williams. I can't remember if he's a D-line or O-line. I think he's D-line. Quinnen Williams, you re-signed him to a nice contract. Your money is very strapped. So if it's money that D-Hop wants, he's not gonna get it over there But if you go to Cincy, everybody's still on rookie contracts. Joey B,
Man, I can't
Jamar
wait for the season.
Chase.
I can't wait for the season, man.
I'm getting that belt.
Why you getting that belt?
I'm taking that belt.
Okay.
This year, I'm taking that belt.
Okay.
I could have had it last year, but I had a very bad streak of injuries.
I got two of them.
I'll take both of them.
I got the one from last year, but I melted to my homeboy because we when they had the Buffalo game that got cut short.
Oh yeah,
we couldn't fit. He was beating me by
that messed a lot of fantasy people up, man.
And he was beating me about 4 points.
Because that probably would have been the last week before second to last week before the playoffs started in fantasy.
Yeah,
and that kind of jacked everybody's stuff up.
But I was still gonna win. But I was being fair. I was like, we're gonna split the money, and I'm gonna send you the belt. So I sent him the belt, man. I don't want him in Nashville. He ain't coming to Detroit neither. He said he wants a stable front office. That is hilarious.
Detroit got a more stable front office than Nashville do.
No, they don't, man. They're hilarious.
Hey, our GM loves our coach. Our coach loves our GM, and we draft well.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Finally. But anyway, man, we got to end it, man, because I got to be somewhere in 15 minutes, and then I still got to get in here and chop out this first 5 minutes that my sound wasn't set up right, man.
Was that 5 minutes or 5 seconds?
It was 5 minutes and 28 seconds.
Ooh. Oh, the
so it was picking up our voice from the camera.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so especially when I played the sound bite, they couldn't hear it because he's wasn't. Yeah,
gotta go and be surgical with that.
Easy day though. Easy day, man. All right, man, fellas. Appreciate y'all, man. We'll catch y'all. We're gonna go live again tonight or tomorrow. We'll probably do it before the game, maybe after. We'll see. So easy day. I'll see y'all on the next one.